Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Monday. It's Monday. We're here with a very, very special day number 16 of self love. I have to admit, this is the second time I'm starting this because the first time, I just went in a lot of different directions that I probably should just steer clear from. So I'm going to keep this simple. I'm going to keep this basic, and I'm going to do my very, very best to stay on point. And the reason I say this is because, there's a lot happening in this world and a lot surrounding this world and everything. And we're forgetting our basic humanity. We're forgetting our basic humanity. And I saw a video this morning and it wasn't what you expect when you hit the volume on it. And it was just like, there was just so much kindness and courage happening in that video. And you're just like, wow, good for you. Good for you. You know, we need more people like that in this world. And so, day number 16, happy Monday. Treat others with love and respect. Treat others with love and respect. We feel better about ourselves when we treat people the way we want to be treated. Everyone may not always return the favor, but that is their issue, not yours. Um, we live in a rather, I'm not sure if tumultuous is the word I'm looking for, but we live in a rather trying times right now. And, no matter where you are, no matter where you are, because I know people struggling with some things in other countries too. And um, friends of mine. And yeah, I think the one thing we're forgetting, first and foremost, is again our basic humanity. The things we learned when we grow up. Well, the things most of us, 99.9% of us learn when we're growing up is to treat everybody with kindness, with love, with respect. I mean, yeah, there might be something out there that pisses you off, but imagine what it must be like for people. I know people who struggle with the whole immigration issue, right? Well, imagine how bad it must be where they're from for them to want to just pick up stakes and move somewhere else. But we don't think about that, do we? How war ravaged is their country? How poor is their country? How backwards is their government? You know, and, I just, sorry, don't get me started. This is why I had to start over the first time, but I'm not going to start over again. If you know me, you know how I feel about the current state of my country right now. Because I will tell you this, and I did not want to break out my soapbox, but I am going to break it out now because I'm angry with the world and I'm angry with this country because you know what? I cannot believe how horribly we're treating each other, the people around us, period. There is such a lack of love and respect in this world right now that it's discouraging in a lot of ways. It's hard to find the encouragement. It's hard to find that solid footing where, we really want to love one another. It because there's so much propaganda and crap going around that says, "Hey, hate your neighbor." No. No. There were times when I would see somebody and I'd be like, really? Really? Because you're in America. But you know what? No, it's more than that. We have to learn how to treat others with love and respect. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as today's lesson. Treat others with love and respect. We feel better about ourselves when we treat people the way we want to be treated. Everyone may not always return the favor, but that is their issue, not yours. It's not our issue. But that doesn't mean we can't go outside and still be nice to someone. That doesn't mean that we can't respect somebody. And if you're struggling to love and respect them, just don't, just back away. Back away. And that's what I've had to do. I've had to set some serious boundaries in the last year. Excuse me. Sorry, wrong pipe. And to be honest with you, they're boundaries I never thought I would have to set. There are boundaries that I had no idea would ever need to exist in certain relationships that I've had with people. And so sorry. There we go. Wrong pipe. Oh, good morning, Eileen. But yeah, I mean, I get attacked for my views a lot. And in fact, there was a really big potential misunderstanding this weekend because somebody had replied and they thought they were replying to somebody else, but they were replying to me. Boy, I went on the defensive, but I tried to be nice. I had this whole diatribe written out, unsent it, and sent something a little bit more leveled and level headed. But because I had to remember where I'm coming from. But the fact that we feel like we need to attack other people for their beliefs, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Eileen knows what I'm talking about. And, sorry to call you out on that girl, but she does. She knows why, because her and I will vent to each other from time to time. Sibling and I will vent to each other from time to time. And it's just what we're missing is again that basic human instinct of love and respect. We're tuning into the other instinct now with the fight for survival. But what fight for survival? I mean, yeah, we're fighting to take this country back to where it needs to be, but that's not what I mean. The people we're fighting feel like they're fighting for survival, but survival from what? Survival from what? Because somebody told you that your life was bad? We've all been through things. We've all been through trauma. Whatever kind of trauma it's been. I don't care who you are, you have been through something in your life that has upended you so fantastically that you thought the world was going to end for about 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds. But it didn't. But when people come in and fill our heads with all this crap and all this vitriol and all this hatred, we start turning on one another. And that's one of the reasons I really wanted to get back to the self-love series. Even though I dropped it in the middle of January, I came back with something that I feel is stronger, something that I feel is more potent, and that I really think that we need to really dive into, because day 16, that's one of the most important things of self-love that we are ever going to learn. When we treat each other with love and respect, whether we agree to disagree or not, we feel better about ourselves. We don't feel like crap. We don't feel like shit. We don't feel like, pounding the wall or breaking a window. No, we feel better about ourselves. Because even if that person responded with unkindness, we know what we did. I talked about how one of the boundaries I had to set. And that, I'm not going to lie, that boundary, it actually caused a period of grief for me, because it was a situation where I thought, you know, this friendship was on better standing. And it wasn't. And it hurt. And I was called things that were completely untrue. But it really affected my own, it really kind of ramped up my self-doubt. I mean, I was literally asking people that are close to me, than this person, going, am I really like this? And I said, be honest. And I was, and I'll be honest, because if I am, I need to change this behavior. And they just looked at me and go, where is this coming from? And so I had to tell them. And it's not that I wanted people to take my side. I didn't. I just needed to know for myself, oh my God, is there something else that I need to work on to make myself better? But it turns out that when you back people into a corner with, because you don't fight back with insults, you fight back with facts and with truths. And when they don't have anything left, they hit below the belt. When Sissy, Joe, and I used to have our big rows, I know, when we ran out of shit to fight about, we would start hitting below the belt. I say we. I'm not innocent in that. Like I said, I may not have started them, but I certainly did not finish them. You know, we had to basically wear ourselves out before we realized, boy, this is dumb. But why are we fighting with one another? I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I've said, we need to agree to disagree. And these other people just want to fight and fight and fight. It's like, just stop. I'm not saying I want to agree to disagree because, I don't like your opinion. That's your opinion. I have my opinion. I'm doing it because I want to preserve what's left of this thing that we might have, that this friendship, you know? And I feel like at this point, it's lost. It's gone. I told older sibling, I said, I'm not sure where I stand at this point, but I'm pretty sure that it is not where I thought I was. And it's hurtful and it's painful because sometimes we think that our friendships are stronger than that. Sometimes we think that our friendships are so strong that nothing can break them, or that our family ties are so strong that nothing can break them. And that's not always true. And I found that out. And all that really needed to happen was for, a little bit of love and respect to happen. For someone to allow me to just have my opinion. I may not always agree with somebody else's opinion, or, your opinion, whoever's watching this. I may not always agree with somebody else's opinion, but that's why I pull out the agree to disagree. I will always pull that out because it is easier to walk away from two people having an opinion than ending up where you end up, where you're not talking anymore, where you're just so lost. And like I said, a lot of this vitriol and anger and hatred, it's not always coming from a place that was learned. Now, some of it is, all right? And those people are pretty clear on who they are when it is a learned trait. A lot of times, though, like I said, it comes from grief. It comes from anger over something that you could not control. It comes from being upended and having no idea why. And when you have, or you are given a reason to be angry, you're going to grab onto it like the brass ring on a merry-go-round. Because you're given permission to be mad. And it's okay. We're allowed to be angry. We're allowed to have grief. We're allowed to have our own opinions. But when we start hitting people, using, our words to be unkind, when we start weaponizing books of religion to suit our own purposes. I mean, for all the people who are religious out there, I'm just going to go with the biggest one at the moment, Christianity, right? Do you really fucking think that Jesus would appreciate all this? Hell no. If you really go back and look at the Bible and read it like you said you read it, Jesus was a hippie. Okay, he was a community guy. He was, hey, let's bring everyone together. He was that, turn the other cheek guy. Buddha. Buddha walked away. I was reading the book on, the story of Buddha and how he was a prince, and how, he didn't like his father's warmongering ways, basically. And he turned on that, and he found peace, and he created a whole religion was created out of it, right? I don't know a lot about other religions. I don't. So those are the two I'm speaking of, because I found Buddha such an interesting, figurehead. It's like, and the funny thing is, he was Indian, right? I mean, a lot of Asian countries are Buddhist. And I know India is Asian, but you know what I mean. Um, but it's such a fascinating thing. You know, nobody tries to weaponize him, but people weaponize Jesus all the time. God wouldn't like that. Jesus, well, how do you know? Did God come down and talk to you? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if he did, but if he's coming down to you and he's spewing hate, that ain't God. All right, I'm gonna tell you right now, that ain't God. The way some of these people pick up their Bible and hit people with them, maybe not physically or literally, but figuratively, that ain't Jesus and that ain't God. And yeah, I'm on my soapbox right now, and I'm going to tell you why. Because treating others with love and respect is what we need to bring this world back to where it needs to be. That's where we need to bring this country back to where it needs to be. We need to stop fighting. We're such a place of division right now. not just this country, but this world is so divided right now that it's ridiculous. It's not even funny. There are things happening, over in Israel and Gaza. And you got two people doing this. What if they just sat down and came together? What if the people who are fighting on either side that don't even live there came together and talked, treated each other with love and respect? Oh, wow, they'd probably learn a lot about each other. But we don't. We're too busy, throwing jabs, and we're too busy saying they're right, they're wrong, they're right, they're wrong. And the sad thing is there's a group of people in the middle of all of this who are the ones who are really suffering. Those refugees that you hate coming to your shores, imagine what they're leaving. Do you really think they want to be here? No, they want to be back in their country, living their lives and thriving. But instead, they're forced out because they have nowhere to go. They have no homes left. Or they're afraid for their children because they don't want their child to just be sitting there eating breakfast one day and boom, they're on the other side of the veil. This is why we need to learn how to treat each other with love and respect. I really, really did not want to break out the soapbox today, but I don't think there was any other way around it because this is where we're at. This is where we're at. We're in a place now where we don't know how to love and respect each other anymore. If you have two like-minded people, they will love and respect each other. And chances are they will turn and, if someone has an opinion they disagree with, more times than not, they'll be like, hey, that's okay. Let's agree to disagree. But then it gets hard when the other person says, oh yeah, but it's like, agree. And if they continue on, just walk away. That doesn't mean you have to walk away forever, but just walk away. Just ignore. Hit ignore. Because a lot of times too, self-love comes from those boundaries that we have to set. Self-love comes from, in a way, self-preservation. Like I said, you can't talk to people that don't want to listen, that don't want to hear you. You can have a conversation with someone, you can share information, you can do this, that, and the other, and that's sometimes all you can do. And if they still want to double down and they still want to buckle in right where they're at, and they want to choose that hill to die on over your friendship or your relationship of some sort, whatever heading it falls under, that's something you have to decide if you really, want to keep feeding into it. I'm not telling you to walk away. I can't tell you to do anything. Everything we do is a personal choice. Like I said, I didn't have a choice. I had to set a boundary. And it possibly cost a friendship just by, one social media. Okay. This person and I follow each other on other social media, but I blocked them on one space because they just wouldn't leave me alone. They told me this is my place and this is where I go to vent. But it's like, yeah, but this is my place where I go to vent too. Where I go to share all the stuff because I don't want to share it over there. Because I do try to keep it as politically free as possible, but that doesn't really seem to be working lately. And they still wouldn't stop. But I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. The reason I'm sharing this is because I did my best to agree to disagree. I did my best to maintain a status quo. I did my best to show love and respect. And at some point, as it says here, everyone may not always return the favor, but that is their issue, not yours. I had to understand that. And I also had to realize that sometimes it is like talking to a wall. And I don't mean that to be mean because a lot of times we'll use that. It was like talking to a wall. No, it was like talking to a wall. It was like just talking to the hand. That's all I kept getting. Like, I'm not going to listen to you, but you need to listen to me. And when it comes to that, guys, love and respect yourself. Show yourself some love and respect. You really deserve to be in this position where you're just getting, just hammered by anger, by hate speech, by all this other crap. No, walk away. Walk away. It's literally that easy to walk away. There are times when I get mad And the way I'll show the person love and respect, and I usually say, like, if I'm arguing, if my dad and I have an argument, or sibling and I have an argument, my dad is still getting used to it, but sometimes I'll just get it. Well, where are you going? You're going to go run to your room, and it's like, I'll just look at him and say, you know what? I'm leaving the room before it gets worse, because I know me, and I do know me. And same with siblings. She's like, well, where are you going? We're not done talking. It's like, no, I need to go because I don't want to say anything I don't mean. Because I know how I am. Because I'm still, there's still these shadow bits of me that I'm healing that just pop up unexpectedly. But I also know that if, you know, I don't always fight, not the people should be fighting. I don't always fight above the belt. I'm trying. I'm trying to learn how to have a reasonable discussion with people, or especially when I get upset or something's upsetting me, or there's something going on and I'm lashing out because I don't know what it is, or I don't want to talk about it. um, I realize in those moments that those are the times when I need to get up and walk away, because I know it's either something I need to figure out, or I need to calm down so I can talk with someone to help me figure it out. But it's more of a cooling off period for me, and that's how I try to show people love and respect. I try to show them that it's me trying to find that place of balance, that peaceful spot. There's a lot of different ways that we can show each other love and respect. I was watching a video the other day, and this guy said he was walking his dog, and he's a citizen of the United States, and this is in San Diego. And some person on a motor scooter with a black mask on just, you know, blows by saying, "Hey, what's up, illegal alien?" Was that really necessary? I mean, seriously, was that really necessary? First of all, that person on the scooter got it completely wrong. But that's the shit I'm talking about. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about that's happening because people have been given permission to be mean to each other. And the hardest part is being that small group of people that stands up and say, you know what? I'm not going to be mean. I am going to show love and respect, even if I disagree. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that is what's going to save us. Does it sound like a bit of a hippie thing? No, hippies are political. Okay. Flower child. Actually, I would say Jesus Christ was more of a flower child, you know, because they're all peace, love, light, make love, not war, all that good stuff. And hippies kind of were, but the hippies were a little more political. They're a little politically motivated flower children. And there's nothing wrong with that either, because we need that. We need that. We need people who stand up for what's right. But that means we also have to as well. Older siblings always calling me a flower child now. It's so funny because I never really thought of myself as one, but she's like, "Oh, you're becoming a flower child more and more every day." And it's like, at first it'd be like, "Hey," but now it's kind of like, "Okay, okay, thanks." The more I started to heal and got on this healing journey, the more I realized that that's that. I like to tune in, and if you understand what I mean by tuning in, you'll understand that. But I like to tune in from time to time, and the one message that always comes back to me is, we need to spread more love into this world. And the only way to do that is to sometimes just back down. We don't always have to be right. In fact, we don't ever really need to be right. There are times when we need to be right because, it's a matter of getting somewhere or going somewhere. But when it comes to opinions, there is no wrong or right. I mean, there is. I can't lie, there is. Um, but you have to decide how you want to approach it. You have to decide if it's worth dying on that hill, or if you just want to walk away. Because, like I said, there are people in this world that aren't going to get it until it happens to them, until it directly affects them. And when it directly affects them, that's when they wake up. That's when they see it. That's when they understand. When it directly, and sometimes we're not the person that can do that for them. Sometimes it just has to happen on their own. But that doesn't mean that we still can't treat people with love and respect. And like I said, I know how hard that is. I know how difficult that can be. I've been in a lot of situations in the last 5 or 6 years that have required me to say, hey, you know what? Is this the hill I want to die on? There have been a lot of situations where, I have ended up on one side and the other side just badmouthed me like nobody's business. But, there are people in this world that I will protect and I will do my best to protect. And when it comes to my family, same. There are certain people in this world that I will die on that hill for. And you know what? Sometimes I guess it just comes with the territory. But, I mean, what else can I say on this? Again, I apologize for jumping onto the soapbox. It's not what I wanted to do. And I certainly did not want to go in several directions that I went in. But I think it's a very good example on how we have learned to not treat each other with love and respect. We've we divided ourselves. We've forgotten how to be brotherly and sisterly to one another. We have people who just, who were a smaller group of people that used to weaponize the Bible, but now all of a sudden they're on the forefront. And I don't have anything against religion. You want to be religious, fine. I was raised a Catholic. And and to some of these people who like to whack people with their Bible, Catholics are the devil. But I'll tell you one thing, go toe to toe with my mom. She'll school you. My dad knew the Bible better than either of us, because of how he was raised. And of course, now, depending on the day, he's an atheist or agnostic, depending on what day it is. But yeah, we have to stop being so unkind to one another. We have to stop trying to call each other out. We have to stop sitting there and going, my opinion is more right than your opinion. My ideals are more right than your ideals. My way of life or the way I think things should be is better than what you think. Somewhere in the middle is where the balance is. It's always in the middle. It's always in the center. That's always where the balance is. You tip the scales too far in either direction, what's going to happen? Exactly. We need to learn how to be better to one another. I can't say that any more than I've already said it now. So I'm just going to read this again and I'll let you think about what I've said. All right. So again, day 16, treat others with love and respect. We feel better about ourselves when we treat people the way we want to be treated. Everyone may not always return the favor, but that is their issue, not yours. I know this was a tough one. I didn't think it would be this hard when I first read it this morning. I thought, oh, good, this is a good one. But I just have all these things rolling through my head right now about how ugly and mean we are to one another. How ugly and mean certain groups of people are to other people. Like I said, we may not, you know, see eye to eye on a lot of different things. But, for all the people that hate refugees, for all the people who hate immigrants, I just want to remind everybody what is so wrong in their country that they're coming here. I mean, I love London. I would love to live in London. I would love to live in England. But that doesn't mean it's because I hate my country. That doesn't mean it's because my country doesn't offer anything. No, I'm just a total Britophile. That's it. But imagine coming from somewhere where the conditions are so bad that you will travel by foot most of the time, a long way, to find a better life. Or you're forced to flee your country because there's nothing left. Or you're afraid for your children. We don't think about those things. We just think about how people invade things, how people invade countries, with their illegal immigration. Imagine how bad it must be. Imagine working under the minimum wage in the hot sun in the fields so people in that country can eat. and they dismiss you because, you don't look like them, or you come from somewhere else, or you can't speak English. America's supposed to be a melting pot. We were supposed to be a place where people can come together and share different cultures. I mean, I'm half Filipino, I'm a smidge of Hawaiian, but I grew up in the Hawaiian culture. I'm obsessed with my Irish side. I don't know why, but probably because it's something so different. I'm obsessed with a lot of half of my white side because I don't know it, but I'm also obsessed with learning more. I don't know what happened, but I guess my mic died. Can you guys hear me now? Um, yeah, I don't know what happened at the end. So, okay, that was weird. Well, I better tie up then. So, anyways, I hope everybody, well, now I got to look at it. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, we got to be kinder to one another. We have to be better. That's basically what I was saying in the last 5 minutes. We just have to be better to one another. That's how we flip the world back into the direction that we need to go. We need to be better to one another. All right. I don't know what's happening with my mic, but it's being dumb. So, anyways, we just have to be better to one another. Show kindness, show caring, show love, show respect. Remind ourselves that there are people who come to this country to do all these things for us, to help us, to, that we benefit from, that they don't benefit from at all. And to stop, you know, being mean to other people. If you are a person who follows the Bible, you should not be weaponizing it. Period. Jesus was a flower child, straight up. All right? I don't care what you say. Go back and read the Bible again. Because I'll tell you, when you weaponize the Bible, when you hit people with it figuratively, you're no better than everybody that you're preaching against. All right? So open your hearts, open your minds. Let's all learn to love one another. I'm sorry for the missing audio in there. I know, that was bad. But anyways, I'll talk to everybody later, all right? Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I apologize for getting on my soapbox today, but rather necessary. Have a great day.